Salamat ang ano, 'di ba? We can speak our different languages and dialects. So we're all over the Philippines. So daghang salamat, Aris, for being here. Now we have Miss Deejae. Please say hello.
Ayan, so hi, good morning everyone.
Good morning, Miss Deejae.
Hi,
Thank
I'm
you for
Deejae
being
Wanta
here.
from Center for Barista and Tourism Academy. I'm the founder and president of Center for Barista.
Ayan. Thank you so much, Miss DJ, for being part of COFEX and also being here with us this morning.
Ayan.
Now we have Miss Lori. Say hello po.
Wonderful. Hello. Thank you, Miss April. Wonderful morning to everyone. I am Lori from the De La Salle College of St. Benil.
Salamat po. Ayan, let's say hello naman to Sir Japeth. I'm not sure if your video is on. I know you had some difficulties, but I hope you can say hello to everybody here.
Hi, this is Japet and
Hi, it's Kate. Good
Sir-
morning to
yeah.
everyone.
ganda umaga,
Maayong
Tago Coffee.
Nice. Actually, ayan, nakita nyo, dalawa pala yung all two in one, 'di ba? So hi Miss Kate also. Now we have Miss Faye. Is Miss Faye already here?
Yes, hello everybody. Mayong buntag everyone. Happy Sunday.
There. Hi Miss Faye, maayong buntag. Daghang salamat. All right. So, are we ready to meet the speakers? Well, we met them already, but this is our time to shine. Well, for our question and answers. So I would like to encourage everybody in this room, our participants and delegates, even our exhibitors, and maybe the speakers. You might have questions to your fellow speakers as well. Please type them at the chat on the chat. Kindly write down the name of the person you want to address the question to, so that we can see. I will be asking our friends, our team at Colabox to kind of moderate and double check on these questions. I'll try to take a look and then we will call you up. Don't be shy. Of course, if medyo shy pa talaga kayo, we can read it out for you. But let's take this chance, diba? Usapan tayo, magkape tayo virtually with our speakers. So hopefully you can say ask your question directly to our speakers. Okay, so let's get started. Maybe you can start typing your questions already on the chat. We'll be giving you a few minutes to start or to think about it or to type. But we did collect a few questions that were posted online by participants, and we chose the ones for speakers that are here this morning. So let's see what we have already, so we can get the ball rolling. But once again, can I ask everybody, please head on to the chat box so that you can also share your questions first. And then I will call you up on stage, or at least I will call your name so that you can read out loud your questions. Once again, please write the name of the speaker or speakers you want to address the question to, and then your question. All right, so thumbs up, maybe hearts or smileys. Game na ba tayo? All right, thank you very much. We have a few questions already. Ready na ba yung natin, speakers? Okay, so we have our first question here for Miss Lori. Okay, Miss Lori, this is from Janelyn online. So what advice can you give us aspiring entrepreneurs in the future, especially for me as a student? So Janelyn is a student and wants to be a coffee entrepreneur. So Miss Lori, ano po yung pwede nating advice for Janelyn and actually the other aspiring entrepreneurs? Go ahead po, Miss Lori.
Right, thank you for that question because the question itself is very inspiring already for mentors like us. Because as a student, you're already aspiring to be an entrepreneur. So very different perspective from where we came from that, you study and then after that, magkakatrabaho ka. But our generation right now is they are really being groomed to be entrepreneur in the future. You know what you're going to do as a student? Of course, you have subjects that will build your skills and your confidence to be future entrepreneurs. But what you're going to do right now is to discover more of your strength, discover more of your skills, of your talent, and then try to find out what's out there. What are the problems out there? We call them problem, but actually it's an opportunity. Look around you in your everyday life as a student. Look around you. What are the things that you can improve on? Perhaps the packaging of, di ba tayo, may tayo mag-add to cart nowadays. So you could just think of those things that is not present but you are looking for it. So those are the things that you can do right now as a student, yung identifying opportunities na the other things would see as problems. But sa'yo, nakikita mo siya as an opportunity. Keep the passion, know yourself more by knowing your strength, what you can do, what gap you can fill in as a student, and perhaps as you move on with your life in the future. Okay, thank you, Jeneline, and God bless. I hope that you message us the moment you become entrepreneur and this coffee Manila exhibits or exhibition or event did something for you today. All right, thank you.
Salamat po, Miss Lori. Indeed, it's inspiring to already get these questions from young people. And I love how you said that, problems can actually turn into opportunities, or it's really a perspective or a mindset that we need to also shift amongst young people. So problems are potential. Diba? Those are, those are the things that you can take as opportunities to create a solution, and that's the business idea you can have. So again, salamat kayo, Miss Lori, for that. And of course, to Jeneline, for your question, and hopefully other students also can take into that advice. Okay, so I think we already have a question on the chat here. So I'm gonna try to field the questions back and forth from the ones online and then also the ones live here on the chat. But I do hope that you can come up, ayan, to actually ask your question. Diba? So can I please call on Zeus from JCI Lipa to come up or, show your video and ask your question here. This is very interesting. I also want to know the answer. I think your question is for Aris. So Zeus, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hi. Question for Mr. Aris. What obstacles did you encounter in opening up a social enterprise coffee business? And what advice can you give to both the entrepreneurs and the community stakeholders?
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Seuss. Thank you for that very wonderful question. Good morning, everyone. Hi, April. I encountered a lot of obstacles. Una-una na dyan, I failed twice before really coming into this social enterprise. I started our social enterprise in 2012 because I first saw the coffee. Nakakalat lang siya sa Lubok, Batangas. Marami kasing puno doon ng kape. Pero ang mas pinapansin ng mga tao doon, yung buri. Mas ginagamit nila yung buri pound kasi magkakatabi siya buri and then kape. Sabi ko, bakit po yung mga kape ay nakakalat lamang? Bakit hindi nila ibinebenta? Sayang yun, di po ba? Pero parang excel sa ata yung kape doon sa Lubok, Batangas. And then, so sabi ko, okay, let's just try doing this. Nag-study kami, etc. But then it failed. Bata pa ako noon, sobrang bata ko pa noon. And then it failed. And ang unang-unang naging reason for that failure is that the unavailability of funds. Mahirap kumuha ng funds, lalo na sa banks or to find the investors, etc. Lagi ang hirap sa simula. That's the primary obstacle na naranasan ko. Then secondly, finding the right partners. I think nakatatlong tries na ako to finding the right partners. Mahirap maka-drive ng partner. And then I eventually learned how to keep the circle small when it comes to business partners. But then the third one na obstacle na experience namin is mahirap mag-introduce sa market ng bagong product, lalo na kami, deep coffee kami. Mahirap i-introduce sa simula. It took us years before really perfecting that product. And eventually, na-patent na namin yung product. We were able to really patent that product. And then, those three major obstacles, may mas kalaban ka pa sa sarili mo eh. Sometimes you feel the doubt. Sometimes, isipin mo, tama ba itong ginagawa? Kasi naririnig mo sa mga pamilya mo, mag-abroad ka na lang, huwag ka na mag-business, and then just help us, just work in the corporate world. But then, napipil mo sa sarili mo, you just have to keep going. And then yung 3,000 pesos mo na kapital naging 50,000, naging 1 million. And now our company is valuated at 20, from the range of 20M to 50M within the span of 3 years. So sabi ko, okay, what if I listen to those people who told me that just go abroad, just accept that masters from, and I even gave up scholarships from abroad, or invitations to work to UNICEF abroad. But then ang hirap mas kalaban mo yung sarili mo. So the advice I can give to the people, to the ones who na gusto mag-invest is, number one, find mentors. Yun yung hindi nawala sa akin ever since. Find mentors. For example, Miss Georgie here, I believe is a really very good mentor, and she's been helping a lot of people in Mindanao, and kaya ang ganda ng coffee industry ng Mindanao. Ma'am Lori from College St. Benilde, I'm sure is also a very good mentor, and many other speakers here are really good mentors. And then secondly, after that, finding the right mentors, keep going. You have to fail forward daily. Sa mga stakeholders naman, lalo na yung mga investors, mga sponsors, just keep believing in the people, investing in those people para mas magtuloy-tuloy. Kasi sometimes, just by a pair of ears listening to us, to the entrepreneurs, really means the world to us. Di po ba? Parang mas may nakinig lang sa'yo, mahalagang bagay na yan na nakakausap ka. Thank you po. Yun po yung aking sagot. I hope it answered my question, Sir Zeus.
Thank you.
Yes po.
Ayan, thank you so much, Aris and Zeus, for that question. And you mentioned, Aris, no? We have Miss Georgie here this morning as one of the, I would say, possible mentors maybe that people can look up to or reach out to. And I hope that it's okay with you, Miss Georgie, if I can field this question, the same question from Zeus, no? To you, the challenges and, what you can share also with your experience.
Okay, I started Coffee for Peace way back in 2008, and of course maraming challenges kasi I'm not really a coffee farmer. Basta umiinom lang ako ng kape. But the passion deep within me is more on peace building. And as we work here in Mindanao, we just use coffee as a medium for our peace building. And that inspired me. Kaya sabi ko, coffee can be an avenue for peace. So I started Coffee for Peace as a bridge for people who are having conflict. So at that time na inumpisahan ko yung business, I really have to do a lot of research on coffee and what coffee are available dito sa ating bansa. At kung kinikilala ba yung coffee dito sa ating bansa sa ibang bansa. So, I have a lot of experimentation na ginawa para lang makita where we are at that time, 2008. So, noong 2010, I sent our coffee to Canada to have it graded. Kasi at that time, we don't have our Q graders dito sa Pilipinas. Ang level ng coffee natin in terms of quality and competitiveness to other coffee produced in other countries. And to my surprise, our coffee scored 84%. Those were coffees that I gathered from Bukidnon and Matutong at that time because they are the communities na dinidevelop namin. And because of that, we got interest sa mga tao. And because we know that the coffee graded high, premium and specialty, so tinaas ko yung pagbili ng kape. Of course, the challenges would be yung mga existing coffee traders because I was buying it at a higher price. So, kumbaga ginugulo ko yung presyo. So, I got that one challenge, the finesse at that time. But I said, what if we raise the level of payment sa coffee farmers? Mawawalan ka ba ng tubo? And konting taas lang para maging fair sa mga farmers, hindi naman sila nawalan ng tubo. So, after kilo na Arabica coffee, now it's being fetched at 350 pesos per kilo. So those were the challenges na face ko. Pangalawa would be correcting the price. Pangalawa would be correcting the process that we know here. So introducing different kinds of processes para sa kape to achieve yung taste profile na gusto mo. Of course, ang first reklamo would be sa mga farmers. Ang sabi nila, ang dami namang trabaho, nakakapagod. So, but for those who experimented with us, nagtiyaga sila ngayon yung champion sa Philippine Coffee Quality Competition. So, those are the rewards naman na kung nagtiyaga ka, ngayon yung iba ginagaya na yon at na-raise talaga natin yung standard ng ating coffee industry because now we have several Q graders here that are available that we can tap on locally, hindi na kailangang ipadala pa sa abroad para ipa-taste yung coffee. We have coffee farmers that are very confident sa kanilang ginagawa in terms of processing coffee, and the farmers are being paid fair trade or fair or right, no? At merong value adding sa kanila. So, of course, ang isa pang challenge na na-face ko would be equipment that we use. Kasi sa coffee quality processing, you need several equipment para makatulong sa'yo. And those are costly. So, we tried to collaborate with the government in terms of partnership with the farmers, and we were successful on that. So at least katulong si DTI, si DA, DOST in partnering with farmers. And then the fourth would be financing. Kasi kapag nag-enter ka sa coffee industry, even the farmers, nakita nila yon when they corrected the process at gusto nilang mag-produce ng good quality coffee. Of course, they have to hire extra labor. Hindi naman po pwedeng laging libre. And because of that, you need added financing. And the correction on the availability of finance na matatap mo, at least meron na ngayon. So those are the things na face ko. So I am very happy at the stage that we are in. Of course, meron pa kaming pinag-uusapan para hindi lang Arabica at Robusta, kundi pati yung Liberica at Excelsa ay maisama sa ating coffee value chain roadmap. So yun. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Georgie. Ayan, it's really, the combination of the business side, pushing for the quality and, the business, the coffee business, as well as your social impact. So, daghang salamat for everything that you're doing also, and inspiring other coffee social entrepreneurs. Okay, so let's move along. Maybe, I'm going to, again, invite everyone who is here. We have a couple more people who just joined us. Please chat your questions on the chat box. And then hopefully what you can do is, also come up on stage. I'll call your name so you can ask your questions to the speakers who are here with us this morning. All right. So before, to give you a bit of time to think, let's see the questions online. Ayan, marami actually. We have for Miss Faye. Maybe we can do it one at a time muna, no? So maybe for Miss Faye, let's start with the first question from Louise. What makes a coffee business unique, and what could be your edge among other competitors? So, and maybe if I can combine na lang siguro the first and second question pala, 'di ba? Like, what are the things, sorry, the third pala, sorry. How do you attract customers so that you can stand out from all the coffee businesses? That's ano naman, from Charlene. So, if Miss Faye, you can answer or address these two questions, they're quite related, and like, maybe give your tips for those who want to open up their own coffee business.
Okay. Thank you for the questions. No, well, I have 3 questions here. But anyways, yeah, when we say creating a unique coffee business, that's actually one of the big challenges. No, when you come up with a cafe, because the question here, I think I also shared this in my talk, that we are selling a very common thing, which is coffee, and our competitors or even the big companies that are producing coffee in high quantity. So when you say making your business unique and standing out from your competitors and attracting customers, first and foremost is, di ba, yung unique is being one of a kind. That's having something na wala yung iba. But before you can identify that, what makes you unique is that you should also check first your competitors. So that's also one of the basic things when you start a business is you do a competitor check. So when you do a competitor check, you try to look out in your specific target market, ano yung currently ino-offer ng competitors mo, how are they presenting it to their customers, what do you like about their business and how they do the service, what do you think they can improve, and with that, you can come in, how can you be different? Yun. And when you say attracting your customers, I believe after doing a competitor check, doon na pumapasok yung business concept mo on perhaps adding a specific theme for your cafe, or perhaps adding your personal touch as a person na ano yung mga hilig mo. Let's say, mahilig ka sa Harry Potter, then you do a Harry Potter cafe. Mahilig ka sa dogs, then you make a dog cafe. So it depends. It could be on your one, on your competitor check, and then also on you, on how can you put in a personal touch on your business concept. And then I'll answer also this question, what are the things we should watch out when starting a coffee shop? So the way I understand is parang what you should take note, no? Maybe I could share common mistakes of new coffee entrepreneurs. One is they let themselves FOMO, or have that fear of missing out. And sometimes sumasali tayo sa bandwagon, no? If this person is buying this kind of machine and then you also want to buy that one. If that person is buying that kind of beans and you also would want to buy all the types of beans and try everything. So avoid having the FOMO or fear of missing out. Always go back to your plan, no? Because not all equipments you would need it. And in your business kasi, di ba, I think all the speakers also shared na there are different types of machines, equipments that you can use. I even share different coffee business models, and what you have to do first talaga is pumili ka. Then stick with that for the meantime, most especially if meron kang constraint, which is the money. Another common mistake also of new coffee entrepreneurs would be trying to be perfect during the first time they open the business. So sometimes they try to perfect the latte art, no, and everything before sila mag-open. Tendency is 5 months na lang, 5 months na, and you have been already incurring expenses in your cafe because you want to be perfect in all aspects in your business. Hindi ka nag-open, so sometimes 5 months lost ka na, diba? So perfection is the enemy of success, actually. So what's important is you create progress. So you can start small, konti lang muna, and then up to that, you can start earning, then you can continuously improve your business. It's actually a continuous improvement naman, all types of businesses. I hope I answered the question.
Yes, thank you, Kaayo, Miss Pay. No, a lot of really good insights there. And like you said, it applies not just for a coffee business; it's really for businesses that are entrepreneurs to take that in. So, thank you for really going through all the three. Very good, 3 stars. Wow. Salamat kaayo, Miss Pay. Now let's go back to our chat here on Zoom. I think Vicky, our project lead from JCI Alabang, had questions to Miss Deejae, and I think also for Sina Miss Kait. So Vicky, come back on stage and ask your questions. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Miss DJ. Yeah, we received actually a lot of pre-registration about from aspiring baristas. We have IG stories sharing that there are aspiring baristas. What can you say? What can you advise to them on how to become one and how to be a better one?
Alright, so thank you so much, Miss Vicky. So glad to meet all the speakers. Actually, pinuntahan ko kahapon yung mga sa plenary A and B, no? So nakita ko. Actually, ako mismo natuto with them. Alright, so regarding with that question, inquiries about aspiring baristas, you know what? Most of the baristas, the reason why we established the Center for Barista and Tourism Academy is because of the aspiring baristas. Kasi maraming gustong matuto about coffee, about barista, something like that. However, medyo tight sila sa budget. Kasi ang Center for Barista, we do also have a scholarship, of course, for the aspiring barista, sponsored by TESDA. So it is free. So they can study about coffee, about knowledge about coffee. And in Center for Barista, me, myself, and I is, of course, a certified barista, industry worker ako from a coffee shop before I established the Center for Barista. Of course, they need to be passionate and committed. You need to love good coffee in order to handcraft one. He or she needs to be passionate in consistently creating quality drinks, as well as continuously improving his or her craft. Always looking for ways to learn new skills, techniques, and of course, recipes for baristas. A barista needs to be committed to delivering excellent drinks and customer service. And of course, both friendly and customer oriented. You need should be friendly and be able to deal with all sorts of customers. Team player, a cafe is composed of different people assigned to do different job. So you need to be able to communicate, of course, and work well with your coworkers. A hardworking and detail-oriented, a good barista is able to prepare high-quality beverages every time served according to customers' orders while maintaining cafe standards. So dapat walang shortcut. It doesn't matter kung nakikita o hindi ng customer natin, how we do it, how to prepare it, dapat consistent ang ating drinks. So every time na pupunta sila, alam nila na yung order nila, same taste, same procedure, same po yung kanilang appearance. So that is very important sa ating mga barista. Of course, they are willing to work long shift if needed or spend a whole work day on their feet. So regarding with the high and low of being a barista, mostly ang high is you have the passion. Of course, you need to invest in your knowledge. Mostly kasi other baristas, parang pag natuto na sila how to do the coffee, to prepare the coffee, how to do the latte art, they stop. Diba? So, good thing, kasi pag barista ka, dapat continuous yung learning. Every now and then, dapat lagi kang natututo, lagi kang ready to embrace new knowledge. And kahit saan pa man tayo pumunta, explore your knowledge and passion. So yun din yung nagiging lows ng pagiging barista kapag nag-i-stop sila na matuto about coffee and explore yung, kasi there is something, never ending ang knowledge about coffee. So dapat talaga hindi rin sila titigil matutunan kung ano yung mga bago. So that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Lots of tips there for our aspiring or, existing baristas out there, really going to go for highest quality and of course, really take care of your customer with every cup. So thank you so much for that question. Of course, Vicky, I think you had another one or another two. So I'll still give you the floor. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that, Miss DJ. Then my next question is to Miss Kate and Miss Georgie. We are importing 3 times more coffee than we are producing. We're only producing 37,000 metric tons per year. We're importing 150,000 metric tons already. So there's an opportunity, or probably there's a market for entrepreneurship on new farms. So what can you advise for someone who would like to enter into coffee farming? If they want to enter into a new area, what can you say or advise to them?
Should I start?
Yeah, you should start po, Miss Georgie.
Okay. I think first thing that a new farmer should look at ay i-assess ano yung elevation nung pagtataniman niyang lugar at ano yung nababagay na kape para doon. Pangalawa would be, meron ba siyang cash float? Kasi kailangan mo din ng cash to umpisahan yung lupa para i-prepare siya. Either dun ka maglagay ng nursery mo for your coffee. And 1 hectare could plant 1,000 coffee trees. Yun ang napag-usapan namin sa DA. That's how we would count kung paano yung number of trees. Kasi kung number of hectares lang, yung iba maraming tinatanim dun sa 1 hektarya na dikit-dikit yung kape na would sacrifice the quality of coffee. So, yun yung mga tanong, ano. And then, may time ka ba? Right now, I am mentoring a newly married couple that started their farm. So, bumili sila ng lupa, naggawa na sila ng nursery. Right now, nag-aani na sila because this was 3 years ago. So now we are guiding them sa processing of coffee because our coffee processing area is just near where they bought yung farm. So, yun yung mga gastusin na hindi mo nakikita. Kala mo basta ka lang magtatanim ng kape. Do you have the equipment to process yung coffee? Ano bang process ang gusto mong gawin sa coffee mo? Ano ba yung bagay na proseso dun sa coffee mo? So marami ang itinatanong, hindi lang basta, gusto ko mag-farm, sige, bili ako ng lupa, magtanim ako ng kape. Pero if you want to be competitive and up to date sa nangyayari ngayon sa coffee industry, you really need to study this. Hindi lang basta pitik bulag na magtanim ako ng kape kahit saan. You have to have your own business plan at i-project mo ano ba talaga yung gusto mo. Maybe you could experiment on 1 hectare. Either you plant Robusta, Liberica, Excelsa, or Arabica, depende sa elevation. And then at least, kung pasimula, at least meron kang 200 to 300,000 na float just to start na maganda yung yung iyong ginagawang farm, no? So, yun. And then connections also sa good processor. Or kung gusto mo ikaw mag-process, then you have to study that, no? So, ang dami-dami nga nating ino-order na kape sa ibang bansa. It's because kulang tayo sa quality coffee. Marami ko nakikitang nakatanim na kape. But the roadblock would be, number one, it's hard to get into their farm dahil dun sa farm to market road. Pangalawa, they don't have the proper equipment to process good, clean, quality coffee. Pangatlo, the farmers are not educated enough or informed enough kung ano yung hinahanap ng market. So, produce lang sila ng produce. So, if we in the coffee industry correct all those process at saka magtulong-tulong, siguro yung mga may existing coffee farm, tulungan yung mga paano ma-correct, and then yung gustong magtanim. Kasi we really need to increase our coffee production rather than supporting other countries sa pagbili ng kape dahil mahilig tayo sa kape. So, yun yung aking contribution. Thank you.
Ayun pa, hello, good morning. To add lang po to Miss Georgie's inputs, sa akin naman po, based on the experience that I had, it's extremely important to learn whatever you can about coffee farming, and especially din po sa learn about the community that you're going into, wherever you want to put that coffee farm in. Minsan na, ang tawag nito? Minsan na overlook siya, but it's also important to learn about your neighboring areas, kung meron man, kung may neighboring farms din, para malaman din natin kung ano yung produce na meron sila. We can actually learn from them also. Tulad ng sinabi ni Miss Georgie kanina, network as much as possible din within that area. Tapos, ano pa ba?
Ako siguro sa akin, let me add na lang rin. I guess in terms of the supply and the demand, we need to raise more awareness dun sa market. Kasi parang the reason why we're also importing foreign or international coffee beans is may demand din for it. So Filipino people themselves, sometimes they prefer to drink international coffee kasi they think that local coffee is not that good. Well, in fact, it is really good. Sadyang hindi lang nakakarating sa kanila yung good local coffee na meron tayo dito. That's why we need to be consistent with our message na masarap ang kape ng Pilipinas. And there are a lot of coffee that you can choose from here in the Philippines. Different origins, different flavors, different taste notes. Ang daming pwedeng i-explore. And there are even lots of farms na hindi pa na-explore at hindi pa na-share sa market. So I think we need to continuously raise awareness that we have good local coffee.
And to add to that, then for new coffee farmers, coffee is a very deep rabbit hole. You just have to pick what part of the process you want to go into, and I'm pretty sure wala pang nakakapasok doon sa pinakailalim na yun dito sa atin, especially because Philippine coffee is so good. It's just that a lot of accessibility issues then, which is a whole other topic. Ayun. Yun lang po.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Georgie. Thank you, Keith and Japet. Thank you.
I may add lang.
Yes po, go ahead.
Okay. Right now, Coffee for Peace and Davao Coffee Council Region 11, we will be running a campaign to increase yung consciousness ng ating local consumers on what quality of coffee we have. So we will start here in Davao, since the champions of coffee in terms of Arabica are here, no, sa Mount Apo. So we have trained yung mga coffee farmers on some brewing techniques, whether they are indigenous people or settlers na may-ari ng farm at nagfa-farm sila ng coffee. So we will be creating space for them sa Abrisa Mall, Ayala Abrisa Mall. And we are setting it up na. By October 1, we're targeting ang grand opening. And the objective of this would be to educate our consumers. Kasi we have been doing na, educating our farmers producing good quality coffee. And we have proof of concept that they can if we guide them in terms of processing their coffee good. But in terms of consumers who are still espousing ang foreign coffee, no, and wala pa sila dun sa stage wherein they appreciate our own coffee production, siguro ito ngayon yung magiging massive campaign in terms of buying local, support our economy. And I'm challenging also yung mga nasa Manila, kasi right now we are increasing our pop-up cafe artists because we want to flood the streets with local coffee, and let's educate our consumers. So kung magtutulong-tulong tayo, then we can create consciousness sa consumers. So hindi lang si coffee producers ang dapat i-educate, si coffee consumers, so that our economy would be supporting each other. So yon ang campaign namin. Thank you.
Totally agree with that. Tulungan tayo dito.
Thank you so much. I actually would like to hear from our other speakers, and if not, even our exhibitors here who are, in the field as well, because that's a very good question, no? And I think we have different perspectives that we can listen to. Yes, Aris, you raised your hand. So please, if you want to add, just raise your hand and then I will call you out. Go ahead, Aris.
Yeah, I just want to add something from sinabi po nila Japet, Kate, and Miss Joji. Because we are currently undergoing a scientific study for farming. So, in the science point of view, FYI, Joji, we have a beneficiary farm in Davao, in Mount Apo. So, I'm soon going there and I shall meet you there and let's talk about farming. So, ang isa po nakita namin about this, since we were granted a fund from the United States Department of Agriculture. Ang isa sa sinabi namin on how to start is to really find out kung authentic ba talaga yung seedlings mo. One thing na na-experience ko sa pagtatanim is, for example, binigyan kami ng agency ng government. Yung mga seedlings, iba-iba ang pinanggalingan niya. May galing Mindoro, may galing dito. Sabi ko, Diyos ko, bakit po iba-iba yung pinanggalingan niyo ng kape niyo? Hindi na yan single origin. Kasi pag dinala daw yung mga inputs sa Batangas, single origin, na hindi na po yung single origin. Single origin is galing sa mother tree doon sa pinanggalingan niya. So from there, dapat doon lang siya galing. Kung galing siya ng Batangas, galing ng Batangas mo siya tatanim. So we have to be really careful sa mga seedlings pa lang. Doon pa lang sa mga seedlings na tinatanim. And then, kaya yung study namin, meron kaming DNA mapping. We have to really ensure to reduce the error or bias in doing our farmings to ensure na pare-pareha siya. For example, in Davao, in Mindanao, natagpuan namin na ang Cartimore, there are 15 types, or Arabica, maraming types siya. And I'm sure nandito si Ma'am Chris and si Regent Ting Kaido of DSU is here, who also put up a Barako Academy. So maybe he can share something of their good practices later on. Kasi nakita ko po yung pangalan ng one of the member of the Board of Regents ng Batangas State University na nagtayo sila ng Barako Farm or Barako Research Academy dito sa Batangas. So yun pa lang parang it has to start somewhere in the inputs pa lang and make sure na yung inputs mo are quality. Doon talaga siya mag-i-start. Yeah, yun lang po yung gusto kong i-add about the inputs. Thank you.
Salamat, Aris, for adding to that. Anybody from our speakers pool? But also, I would like to invite, we do have some exhibitors in the room with their own, let's say, coffee business and working with coffee farmers. Anybody who would like to also chime in before we move forward?
Maybe si Regent Ting. Maganda ang ano niya, si Regent Ting. Regent Kaido, are you there? Maybe you can share something of your farm. Kasi siya po yung nag-start ng Barako Academy in Batangas. Hi, Regent Ting. Good morning.
Yes, please go ahead.
Ayaw ko lang kung naririnig ako ni Regent Ting, nakamute siya. Baka wala.
Okay, we can probably get back to that, no? But thank you so much for pointing that out, Aris, as well. So very interesting questions on how to start or actually accelerate and invest in our production capacity here in the Philippines. So we've also collated a few other questions online. And I would like to open this to the different speakers who would like to take this on. So please do raise your hand if you'd like, or I would actually just call you out. I will encourage you to share your insights in this. But of course, I think what we mentioned already earlier is the quality. No, so I wanna take a look at the second or the middle question here. How do you manage to maintain the integrity of the products and the coffee beans, especially now that the pandemic usually limits, if not decreases, the demands from the usual consumers? So it's an interesting question of supply and demand, but also the quality of coffee beans that we're able to produce. So this is from Bobby Aban Jr., who posted this on our Facebook for questions to speakers. So does anyone want to share their insights on this? From our speakers?
Siguro I will share on how would you describe coffee world without women? Since
Sige
I'm
po,
a woman.
Yes, I was already thinking that to all the female speakers. Automatic na yan. So yeah, we can go to that one first. If medyo the second question, medyo you have to think about it more, no? But how would you describe the coffee world without women? So I would like to invite you, Miss Georgie, and also our female speakers, our women in coffee, to also chime in. So go ahead, Miss Georgie.
Okay. As per observation, of course, ako babae na nag-start sa coffee industry. But as per observation, sa mga farming communities dito sa Mindanao and sa Cordillera, most of them are women. So just imagine coffee farm na walang babae at puro lalaki. Ang matyaga sa pag-sort ng kape ay babae. Ang matyaga sa pag-pick ng kape from the trees na pick red or pick ripe ay babae. Ang matyaga sa pakikipag-connect sa customers ay babae. Anong ginagawa ng mga lalaki? Well, they handle the equipment, they handle yung mga pagbubuhat at saka pag-pulp. Pero pagdating na sa detailed work, ando na si babae. So very important yung role ng babae sa coffee industry. So that's just my little observation. Of course, dito sa Mindanao, iba ang context, ano? Especially when I was starting, kaigtingan pa ng barilan dito. Pagka magte-training kami, wala yung mga lalaki, puro babae. And I asked them, nasan yung mga lalaki nyo? Sabi nila, nandun po, ma'am. Nandyan lang sila. Pero may mga hawak na mga sandata, no? So, sabi ko, bakit po? Kasi yung experience namin dito sa Mindanao, ang sabi nila sa akin, most of them, pinagtatanggol sila ng mga lalaki. So, naiiwan sa farm are babae. So, yung mga lalaki nasa armed conflict battle, no? So, sabi ko, kaya pala, sanay na sanay ang mga babae dito working on their farm. Of course, na-change na ngayon, ano, dahil nagkakaroon na ng kaunting kapayapaan dito sa Mindanao, pero makikita mo na hindi pa rin nabago yung role. Babae pa rin ang major na naggagawa sa farm. So yun, ang take ko doon. Thank you.
Thank you so much po, Ms. Georgie, for sharing that. Can I invite Ms. Faye to also, chime in and share her insights for this question?
Okay. Now the question, no, para siyang Miss Universe. How would you describe coffee world without women? Now, maybe I cannot speak with regards to coffee farming and all, kasi I actually don't have an experience with that one. But I'm actually messaging Miss Georgie because I'm looking forward to connect with her. Kasi 'di ba more on sa Mindanao, and then I actually have a community also of people who would like to start their own coffee farm here in Cebu and also in Bohol. So looking forward to connect them with Miss Georgie para ma-mentor sila on their coffee farms. Now looking into perhaps one thing lang siguro na women, tapos i-connect natin sa world of coffee. I think women kasi are natural nurturers, 'di ba? So parang nature ng women na mag-nurture ng life. I think that would be that's the edge of women in the coffee world. So as what Miss Georgie also mentioned na sa pag-farm ng coffee, it's actually mostly the women yung mas involved, but also the men din is the support role, yung mga things na hindi kayang gawin ng mga babae like pagbubuhat and all. So I think it's a tawag dito, parang helping hand with both men and women, but for me, yung sa women aside is because we're all natural nurturers.
Ayan, that's so true, natural nurturers. Thank you so much. Maybe Ms. Kite, you also want to add?
Hi, to answer the question literally na lang po, how would you describe coffee world without women? It's indescribable. The coffee world hindi siya posible kapag walang women, especially noting what the other speakers have said. Ang tawag nito? Coffee, like any other produce, also involves a lot of processes that involve women and men also. Ayun. Yun lang po.
Sorry, I was on mute. I'd like to ask maybe either Miss Lori or Miss Deejae also to chime in.
Wow. So, pang Miss Universe talaga ang
Oo po.
first question. I do love coffee, and since pang Miss Universe ang tanong, pang Miss Universe na rin ang sagot. We are really in this world, di ba, pang Miss Universe? We are really in this world to work together. We complement each other. just like what the other speakers have mentioned a while ago, there are things that we can do or skills we have, but other people can fill it in. That's why the trend now also in business is collaboration. And also in we don't consider anymore our competition as competitors because we consider competition now as co-opetition. So with that, everything has been said. And to wrap it up, it's really complementary. It's really collaboration and helping each other. So we build the industry. Thank you.
Thank you for that po. How about Miss DJ? Are you able to answer? Maybe would you like to the baristas, the female baristas, diba? How would you describe, cafes without women? Salamat po. Actually, I saw that Aris raised his hand. I'm not sure if you wanted to answer the same question or you wanna describe the world without women in the coffee world. But go ahead, Aris. I'd like to also
Describe the
hear your
coffee.
insights.
Describe the coffee world without women. Kasi ang isa sa goal ng aming business is women empowerment. Kaya lahat ng kape namin nakapangalan sa babae. Gabriela, Glyceria, Marcela, Teresa, Josepa, babae lahat. The world, pag walang babae, especially, kasi ako really look up to women when it comes to businesses. Kasi may kakaiba kayong mga instincts na that men do not have. May kakaiba kayong insights and some things na naisip niyo yun, but hindi namin naiisip ng mga boys. And then it's really important that you have to really balance the industry, and women have this ability to do things that men cannot really do. For example, meron ang yung puso, ano man tawag doon, yung motherly, yung pagiging motherly when it comes to yung maalaga, yung ganon, alam niyo yun, yung motherly feeling when it comes to nurturing, kasi nurturing yan eh. Ang kape kasi, di ba, inaalagaan mo siya ng many years, 3 years din bago siya it's a coffee tree is like a woman na you have to really take care of it, and then pag barwas na namunga na siya at once na ayan ay ay ano na nagtalagang naglumaki na, etc. Andiyan siya, mamahalin mo talaga siya. It's coffee is something that you need to respect. It's something that you need to love, take care of. So it's the same way. It's the same way that kailangan talagang masaya, parang maganda at mapagmahal ang dapat meron tayo sa kape. When it comes naman po dun sa sustainable farming techniques, yung ginagamit namin ngayon is climate smart. We're using technology to make sustainable farming techniques. We're using Internet of Things. So it's a new technology. We're pioneering it in the Philippines, especially in Cavite and in Davao. So we're doing Internet of Things. So nagagawa kami ng mini weather station sa mga coffee farms. So for example, iba-iba na ang klima. You will be able to determine kung kailangan mo ba siyang mas damihan ng tubig na diligan, mas kailangan mo bang tingnan kung kailangan mo ba siyang lagyan ng fertilizer na. Kasi ngayon, field method yung mga farmers based sa pakiramdam nila, pero hindi na siya reliable kasi climate change na, tapos may COVID pa. So our new technology, Internet of Things, is climate smart and COVID adaptive Internet of Things to improve productivity and post-harvest quality. So sa ibang bansa ginagamit na to, pero sa Philippines this will be the first, and hoping that once this is okay, it will benefit around 400 farmers now, and then we will soon pilot test it. So hopefully we will be able to distribute it not only in the Philippines but in Southeast Asia where there are a lot of coffee. I remember being asked in the embassy, why, kasi meron kaming fellowship, and why do I want to study coffee there in the US? Sabi ko, exactly, wala nga kayong taniman ng kape. Bakit kayo nakapagtayo ng Starbucks or ng mga masikat na mga coffee shop, pero dito kayo kumukuha sa amin ng kape? How are you able to get coffee from the Southeast Asia or Africa or in Brazil or wherever, pero nasa inyo yung mga malalaking brand ng kape? Bakit wala dito? Why can't Southeast Asia make one na kilala? Well, there's one, yung sa Vietnam, na binili ng Jollibee, and around 2008 ata yun, na ginagamit na lang kape ngayon. There's one, coffee bean, binili ng Jollibee rin, pero hindi siya homegrown sa Philippines or somewhere in Southeast Asia. Puro nandoon sa West. Tataka kayo, di ba? Bakit? Are they exploiting us? Are they really trying to make our coffee na hindi quality? Ginagawa lang ba nila yon? Intentional ba nilang sinasabi na hindi quality ang talaga bang sinisira nila industriya ng kape sa Southeast Asia para sa kanila pa rin yung demand and supply? So these things, there's revolutionary thinking na dapat natin tingnan maigi, not only in the farm level but in the business level. We really have to think and change the techniques. Hindi na tayo traditional business ngayon na we just have to do this and that. Kailangan natin magbago ng technique or ng strategy on how to do business for coffee. Kagaya sa amin, instead of starting with farming, we started with the product. Pabalik kami. So tsaka kami ngayon magtatayo ng farm kasi meron na kaming demand. We are sure na makakapag-export na kami. Hindi na kami mag-i-import. Kung nag-start kami ng pagtatanim, naka 3 years na kami ngayon ng coffee shop. Wala kaming coffee farm. So meron na kaming demand. Malakas na ang loob namin na magtanim ngayon. So we planted 1,500 Liberica, soon to have another 500 Liberica, and more and more. Kaya nga sabi ng Joji, start small. So sustainable farming techniques not only apply to farming, but sustainability in doing business. So you really have to think out of the box and do a business model that is really totally different from your competitors. Like sabi ni Ms. Faye, understanding the competitors, you really have to start out and think para makuha mo yung loob ng Gen Z market or para ma-maintain mo yung integrity mo, etc. You really have to think a new business model. Our business model is called backward integration model. And now we're pioneering nutrition entrepreneurship using that business model. So I hope ma-share namin 'yon sa buong Philippines, not only the Philippines, Southeast Asia. And recently it is being adopted by United Nations Food Systems Summit. So part na kami ngayon ng UN Food Systems para ipalaganap yung bagong business model na hopefully may apply namin sa kape. So yun yung aming kakaiba sa business model. I hope may ma-impart din po akong ibang information and knowledge po tungkol sa ginagawa namin. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Aris, and really jumping on that other question, no, on sustainable farming techniques, and also adding to that, not just sustainable farming, but really sustainable businesses as a whole. So I wanted to invite also the other speakers who want to chime in on that question. I personally am interested in what you are also doing on the ground. But if I may add to this question, no, we can create different techniques, no, and apply different, sustainability efforts in our coffee industry and our coffee production, but we still need people, women and men alike. So how do we also strengthen and broaden our not demand, but our supply rather of people in coffee, the men and women in coffee, all the way from the production side? Because even with farming in general, agriculture in general, we have that struggle of how we can get the next generation to be part of the production, world, no, in agriculture. So I hope you can share that, the sustainable farming techniques, but also sustainability of farming in general. And I see Miss Georgie already raised her hand, so please do go ahead, Miss Georgie, and other speakers, if you have insights as well, would love to hear that.
Okay. I think ang model namin ay nakarap sa peace, sa message of peace. Kung mapapansin mo, any development or any developing country, when they attain that development at pumutok ang giyera, tigil ang business. So, peace is very important, and teaching small communities on how to handle and promote the culture of peace. So that's number one. How to mitigate or how to control yung conflict brewing. Ano yung conflict na magbubrew sa farm? One example, and this happened, yung pagka tumaas na yung kita ng isang farmer as compared dun sa isang farmer sa isang farming community, may inggitan, may batuhan ng masasakit na salita. At kapag nangyari yan sa isang community at sila sa community ay nagsiraan, yung unity, if they are just in one context, yung unity doon, maapektuhan lahat. So, number one, in terms of sustainability is dealing with the issue of peace. Second would be people. When you are in the business of service, you deal with people. So you have to know how to relate with them and how to listen empathically sa mga tao. So you deal with customers, you deal with traders, you deal with co-farmers, you deal with government employees, you deal with financiers. So lahat yon, you must know how to handle and communicate well your message. Pangatlo would be knowing your product. So, kung meron kang good peace skill, good communication skills, pero hindi mo naman alam yung product mo at hindi mo alam kung paano mo maibebenta at yung product mo ba ay may bibili. At bibigay mo ba siya sa customer with quality, on-time delivery, and proper price, QDP, no? So, ito yung mga tinuturo namin sa mga farmers kasi more on enabler kami, no? Yung aking experience sa coffee, I studied the whole value chain, beginning from the seed, ending dun sa cup hanggang sa grading. So, yung experience namin since 2008, nakita namin yung whole realm in the value chain at ano yung dapat mong i-address. So, isa sa mga weakness sa mga farmers, hindi nila alam yung product na pinuproduce nila kasi nanggaya lang sa kapitbahay. And then, hindi rin nila alam, magkano ba namin ibebenta to? Kasi umaasa na lang sila kung anong sasabihin ng traders. Why? Because they don't know their product. What are the inputs na ginawa nila? Ano yung labor and everything na sa pag-calculate ng correct price for their coffee green beans, kung coffee green beans yung ibebenta nila, or kung roasted beans, paano nila ibebenta. So, right now, as Coffee for Peace and as chair of Davao Coffee Council dito, talagang tinuturuan namin lahat ng coffee farmers in terms of mastery on their product. Hindi lang dun sa finished product na green beans, kasi dun usually nagtatapos yung coffee farmer, but also on how can they roast their own coffee kung wala silang roasting machine. So we teach them hand roasting at ano yung mga binabantayan. Then we teach them simple brewing so that they could serve their coffee and establish their own pop-up cafe sa kanilang likod bahay. Especially Mount Apo, no? Ang daming mga turistang lumalakad doon. But when we started in 2008, ang sinaserve nilang kape ay nasa sachet. Samantalang may coffee tree sa likod bahay. So I challenge them to create something for these hikers, no, na pumupunta dun sa Mount Apo, na sana iserve nyo yung sarili nyong kape. So now they are serving their own coffee, and even the coffee farmers are drinking their own coffee. So knowing their product, no? And then, profit. You will be out of business at hindi ka magiging sustainable kung walang profit. So you really have to count the numbers, count the cost, document everything so that you know how much it costs to establish this business, how much it costs to pay taxes, how much it costs to register your business and all those government things that we have to comply, how much do we set aside to pay our workers properly in terms of benefits. And then yung isa pang aspect, 37, no? So peace, people, product, profit. Ang susunod is planet. If you abused the soil and you put so much inorganic material dun sa soil, pretty soon, magsasuffer si coffee mo kasi hindi na siya magpo-produce ng ganong kagandang kape. So if you don't consider planet as part of your approach, kulang. So we have to be balanced and inclusive sa ating ginagawa, hindi lang puro profit. Kasi nakita na natin yan sa nangyari sa mundo. Hindi lang puro product, kundi you have to know how to relate with people, how to take care of our planet, how to price it right so that you have profit, and how to know your product. Ano yung mga dapat mong gawin. So, doon ang sustainability. So, yun lang. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Georgie. I was like writing down my notes and I forgot this is recording pala. But yes, it's peace, people, profit, and planet. We also advocate for, sustainable business, and definitely the model that you are doing and all our coffee entrepreneurs also that's really trying to integrate, that model. And obviously yung added piece nyo na pillar is really important, especially for our communities na medyo meron talaga tayong kailangan i-nurture also within or and among small communities. So thank you kaayo, Miss Georgie, for that. And I think Miss Lori and Miss Deejae raised their hands. Miss Lori, would you like to go ahead, and then we can ask Miss Deejae as well to respond.
Thank you. I would like to answer this question, yung pang 4. Gen Z today are fond of purchasing RTD coffee. So I think ready to drink to, no, yung RTD, especially imported ones. Do you think we can still encourage them to purchase local? So medyo magkaiba kasi yung question, but I would like to focus first on the first statement. Gen Z today are fond of purchasing ready to drink coffee. If we would like to get this market or this segment, this Gen Z who would like purchasing RTD coffee, we have to know their motivation, why they like ready to drink. So if you can provide that motivation, if you can provide what they need, like for example, in our exhibit we have Bose coffee, right? Ready to drink yun. So I just tasted. Hindi po kasi ako talaga mahilig sa 3-in-1. Ewan ko, nilalagnat po ako kapag umiinom ako ng 3-in-1. I don't know why. So I really drink coffee. I would like to be very honest also. I've been a Starbucks drinker ng coffee beans po talaga ako. So Colombia, Yun lang ang pinapurchase ko. But then I tried the Barako, the Liberica. Ay, ang sarap. Lasang parang meron siyang kakaibang taste. So, it's the same, competing, di ba? So, masarap din pala. So, the thing is, if you really wanted to get this segment, the first question would be, do I have the capacity to provide what they need? Yung bang coffee mo na local, can you convert it into ready to drink? Number two, are you available where they are? Because the Gen Z, nasan ba sila? Uh, I'm happy with Figaro because in Figaro, aside from selling different kinds of beans, yung mga imported din, they also have Barako. So when I go there, may option ako to get the Barako coffee. So the thing now with our local distributors or with our local producer, are you available also in different market wherein the Gen Zs are there? So to give them options. And then the moment they taste it, kasi you can convince them via advertisement eh. Bakit ba sila nag-RTD coffee? Baka may Koreano na umiinom ng RTD na influence na, 'di ba? So it's another thing, the way we provide the advertisement or the content of our marketing. So, yun lang. Of course, it's possible to encourage them, especially kung malaking market ang Gen Z. Thank you.
Salamat po, Miss Lori, for that. You were asking saan sila? Nasa online, nasa TikTok, nasaan sila, di ba? How do you market to them, to this generation wherein obviously, we need to capture their attention, the education. I think Miss Georgie mentioned earlier, it's also raising awareness, getting the facts straight. And yesterday with exhibitors, we were also talking about that, no? May mga misinformation or like wrong representation and all that. So maybe, as a collective, us in the coffee, coffee lovers tayo dito and supporters of Philippine coffee, we can really come together in a campaign to also, educate and elevate the awareness, especially sa next generation. So salamat kaayo, Miss Lori, for that. And DJ, you wanted to add, of course, you're in the training business. You are actually, molding the next generation of baristas and people in the coffee industry. So I'd love to hear what you have to say.
Alright, so thanks again, Miss April. Actually, kaya din ako nag-raise ng hands kasi I would like to address this question about the Gen Z or bakit mas gusto ba nila ng RTD coffee. First, ang unang nakita namin why they love RTD is kasi most of the Gen Z parang lagi sila nagmamadali. Ayaw nila ng komplikado yung buhay nila, kaya parang gusto nila ready to drink palagi. So yun yung nakita namin. However, Center for Barista is here of course to encourage the Gen Z to support the local farmers and to educate the Gen Z. Of course, the all sorts of all walks of life na mahilig sa coffee na when we support the local farmers, hindi lang sila yung sinusuportahan natin. Of course, we patronizing the product from the Philippines. So malaki yung maitutulong natin sa kanila. And of course, we can also encourage them. Most of our students, since we established Center for Barista, mag-8 years na kami, we have hundreds of thousands of graduates na zero knowledge sila about coffee. Asa ang lagi lang nilang sinasabi, coffee lover po kami mga nakaka-5 po kami ng cups of coffee na 3-in-1. So that way, wala naman kaming negative connotations about the 3-in-1. We just educate them what kind of coffee is suits for their preferences. For example, this one is okay. Of course, we also teach different kinds of brewing equipment, how to make your own coffee. And then mapapansin na lang namin, right after the training, our participants or trainees, nagpa-purchase na sila ng sarili nilang homebrew kit. Bumibili na sila ng sarili na ng coffee beans. So I think that is very important to educate our Gen Z. Kung ano ba talaga, kasi when you do the math, we also do the math of course, mas matipid kung i-consume natin is coffee talaga na coffee beans na galing talaga sa mga farmers compare sa mga 3-in-1. Mukha lang siyang mura, pero kapag kinompute natin, mas makakatipid pa rin tayo kapag brewed coffee from the freshly roast coffee beans yung i-consume natin. So I think yun yung best na magawa natin sa kanila. We have to educate them, share to them about the coffee kasi we have lots of benefits in consuming the coffee na hindi 3-in-1. So that way, isa pa pala, other than that, and Gen Z kasi, ang gusto nila, other than RTD, gusto nila Instagrammable. Laging pinopost sa Facebook. Bago nila inumin yung coffee nila, pinipicturean muna nila, something like that. And then, so as you can see, dito mismo sa Center for Barista, ginagawa naming sample since ang mga Gen Z, gusto nila lahat ng side pinipicturean. Kaya naman ang Center for Barista, kung magkakaroon kayo ng time mag-visit here at Center for Barista, lahat ng side, meron kaming name para yung students namin or participants namin, kahit saan sila mag-picture, when they post it, hindi na magtatanong yung audience kung nasaan sila. Makikita na kaagad dun sa background, Center for Barista. So, kailangan natin din, syempre, iunawain kung saan ba nanggagaling yung interest ng ating Gen Z. So, yun lang. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. DJ, for that. And yes, I mean, it's also getting to know our customers. And I think some of our speakers mentioned that earlier. And you know, this segment is quite interesting and very, parang iba-iba din. We have to catch up, diba? Kahit anong business you're in also, how do you also build that relationship with this segment? So thank you for all your insights for that. I think we had another question from the audience. I'm gonna try to look for it, but also Vicky had one. So Vicky, do you want to throw in your question first? Ayan, you posted it, but
Ayan o,
I don't
masyadong
see-
mahaba. Oo.
Okay, may kodigo
No, my
yung
question-
speaker. Ayan.
My question is kasi there are a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs. They actually message and think, parang nagtithank sila na we did this expo because of so much learnings that they get from it. So a lot are aspiring cafe owners and they listen to both talks ni Miss Faye and Miss Lori about customer service and entrepreneurship. So my question is parang this one. Miss Faye mentioned first 3 months your cafe will have customers because of friends and family support, but nagiging difficult na siya once 4th month onward, yung mga strangers na. Then during the talk of Miss Lori, she mentioned there's a difference between a satisfied customer and a loyal customer who keeps coming back and become ambassadors of your brand. So my question is what are the top 3 things that an entrepreneur should do to check on a day-to-day basis, parang KPIs, dapat ito nagagawa nila, to get through and go past the 4th month and really build that customer base? Thank you.
Okay, maybe I'll go first, no? So, few tips lang is it's first is you should also always track your sales, no? In everyday, ano yung mga types of products mo na that would have the highest sales, ano yung medyo konti lang yung sales, then with that you can evaluate ano kaya yung pwede mong improve. And when you have that specific product na malakas yung sales niya, so you make sure that you always have the inventory, no, to be able to make that product. So one is always look on your sales. Second is again look in your cost also na hindi maraming nasasayang na mga beans and you are within your inventory control. And then lastly, perhaps always look into your customer feedback. So provide a venue or a way for your customers to give feedback to you. So you can add in there when they purchase something from you, then you can encourage them to post pictures and then also ask them or create an email marketing system. Ask them to give you a testimonial of your product, and then you can give them a 10% discount when they give you a testimonial. With that, it's a give and take relationship, no? You ask for a testimonial, and if they give it a testimonial, then you would give them a 10% discount. Also, you are keeping the customer going back to you. So parang ganun lang. So sales, your cost, control your cost, and then also you look into your customer feedback. And dapat nagmamatter talaga yung ano yung sinasabi ng customers. Yan lang.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much
Miss
for that.
Faye.
Pwede mo
Yes.
bang dagdag doon sa question na yan?
Yes, let's have Miss Lori, and then I will call you also. I think also Japheth also wants to say something.
Thank you.
So there are also people who message me, what is the difference between the satisfied customer and the loyal customer? Because I mentioned that in my talk. All right, people buy, or our buyers buy our product at a particular price. And when you give them what they paid for, they are satisfied. But it doesn't mean that they are loyal. Okay, so our job every day, just like the question here a while ago, how you make sure that every day you do activities that will capture your customers and keep them coming back. So I mentioned about consistency of your products and services. Hindi naman magsasawa yan. And of course, you have a variety when it comes to product. So hindi lang naman isang flavor ng coffee. And aside from that, you give them the convenience. Di ba? A lot of speakers have mentioned about the convenience of buying, and then is it worth the price? So what is the difference between satisfied and loyal customers? There are three. You know that the satisfied customer, you turn them into a loyal customer when they come back, when they buy again. But what if they didn't buy again? They are loyal because they refer you to a friend, and they are loyal if they evaluate you, or the term would be review without paying them, without asking them to evaluate us, without giving them incentive, because they are really loyal. Okay? Only few buyers are like that. But they if they are really loyal, without giving them incentive, they will write about you. Sabi nga kanina, kung mga Instagram, loyalty, right? Because they can post it. So yun lang, our job every day is to make sure that our satisfied customers will be turned into a loyal customer by, number one, giving them our product consistently of quality. You give them what they paid for, and give them what they don't expect. Our customers go to us not because of the products alone. They buy something from us because of the feeling that they receive the moment they interact with your products and services. Okay, I bought this coffee, pero ang nararamdaman ko, if I am the one doing the coffee, if I'm the one mixing, there's something there. It's the emotion. That's why the trend is emotional marketing. What is the feeling of that customer when they interact with your products and services? Therefore, you are now turning that satisfied customer into a loyal one. There's a tendency. Okay? So thank you. I hope I answered that, Ms. April.
Yes, thank you so much. Lots of additional tips from your talk also po. I think Iris, you wanted to add?
Yeah, oo. Naalala ko nung nag-start kami sa coffee shop, ang per day namin, 3,000, 2,500 yung sula. But eventually, after a few months, nag 20,000 up siya sometimes. Siya. Ang ginawa namin, you really have to listen to the customers. Yun ang kauna-unahan. Sometimes kasi, tingin natin na alam natin na yun ang gusto ng customer. Hindi pala yun. Or sometimes yung alam natin na gusto natin na introduce, hindi pala talaga yun. From the masses na gusto namin na market before, mas maganda pala na ang mass mo namin, natagpuan namin ay middle class. For example, if you are going to bring in 20 people and they will be paying like 100 each, that's 2,000, right? Or something like that. But if only you have like five people and then each is willing to pay 1,000 each, that's much better kasi mas mailiit yung magiging cost mo, etc. So it's really important that the one thing that we should check on a day-to-day basis is to check kung anong average tab ng isang tao, sino ba talaga yung mga taong pumupunta. You really have to do a reality check based on your versus your business plan, kung yun ba talaga yung pumupunta at nararating. So branding talaga, parang unang year talaga, cost talaga siya puro branding, expenses talaga yan. Kasi you have to brand yourself and spend a lot and see where it will bring you. And the most important thing is to secure your trademark. Kasi yung trademark mo minsan nakakalimutan na dito sa Pilipinas, hindi familiar ang mga tao sa trademark. Yung mga pagkain, yung ating business, yung kape, bago itayo, habang itinatayo, you really have to secure the trademark. Kasi mamaya malaman mo, magtayo ka, lahat ng katabi mong kanto may kagaya mo na. Gagayahin ka na nila ng mga yan. Kaya importante na finding out yung intindihin talaga yung market. You have to do the trademark and really spend on the branding. Talagang una 1 to 2 years talaga expenses talaga siya. You really won't expect too much income from that. And then eventually you'll find out ang valuation ng business mo is more of the trademark. Kasi 90% lagi ng business is the trademark. 10% lang talaga dyan yung product. You might have this small income kasi ang business talaga sa food service, di ba, Ma'am Joji, maunti lang talaga ang margin. But if you are able to really increase on your trademark, kahit pa maunti income mo at may nakikita sa yung investor or may nakakita isang say Jollibee or Coffee Bean, whatever, nakita nila ang potential mo at potential threat ka sa kanila, bibilhin ka niyan or pwede ka niyang kunin kasi threat ka na sa kanilang malalaki. So we build more on, kaya ang Korea, ang Vietnam, kaya sinabi mo Vietnamese coffee ba yan? Japanese coffee ba yan? Yung UCC, hindi sila nagbabank sa kape. Kung tutuusin, pare-parehas lang ang kape. Parang sa ordinary people, a coffee is a coffee. Konti lang naman tayo mga tao na talaga nakaka-appreciate. 3% lang ng population siguro nakaka-appreciate na kape. But majority of the market they really do not care about what coffee you drink. Sa branding, kaya ang Korea, ang Vietnam, gaganda ng kape nila sa ibang bansa, Starbucks, whatever, hindi naman talaga sa kape ang kape naman ng Starbucks, hindi naman masarap. Ginugulat lang tayo sa ginugulat lang naman tayo sa hurindat ng init ng kape. Diyos ko, pag inom mo, hanggang init na rin, hindi mo naman malaman kung kape talaga yon. Pero people buy it because they brand it like that. Talaga nasa trademark. Doon talaga sila, para kang uminom ng 10 robusta pero wala ka pa rin nararasahang robusta. Parang gano'n na yung kape ng Starbucks, 'di ba? Parang lasang tubig na. So talagang importante talaga 'yun. Kaya ang Korea, ang Japan, ang gaganda ng kape nila kahit hindi naman talaga masarap kasi branding talaga, trademark talaga, intellectual property. Yun yung kulang pa sa atin sa kape, intellectual property. Kaya pinupush din namin 'yon. We now have 5 trademarks and 1 patent for coffee alone. Coffee lang yon. Kasi kahit may gumaya pa, pwede mo silang patigilin. So, yung sa kape kasi natin, 'di ba, we trademark yung blend or etc. Pero mahirap kasi kailangan natin mag-create ng intellectual property kasi nandoon talaga yung income. Once na maano mo siya pag Barako Coffee yon.
Yes, thank you so much, Aris, for that. Encouraging other coffee entrepreneurs and brands to look into that and really invest in that. So I think Miss Kite, you also had you had a comment or a response, or Japet ba? And Miss Deejae. So si Sir Japet, go ahead.
This is also related with yung dalawa from the previous questions. So the one with Gen Z and how do you manage to maintain the integrity. So ano naman to, based on sa roasting background din na pinanggagalingan namin. So yun nga, address ko na lang rin specifically yung question ni Vicky sa top 3 things that an entrepreneur can do. Siguro yung top 3 sinulat ko siya. Are you staying true to your core, to your brand, or to your identity? Kasi dapat kilala mo, you should know yourself, you should know what you're serving, how you are serving your coffee. So you should stay true to it. And then the next thing is, are you reaching your market or your followers? Because this market, these followers, they will follow you or they will be loyal to you because they can communicate or they can relate with your brand, with your identity. So that is also how you gain this market, these followers. And are you consistent? So are you consistently doing, or are you consistent with your identity na nakilala ka nila na ganito, that you are supporting local? Are you consistent with that? So those are the 3 things that you can always check from day to day. Nasabi ko na related to with Gen Z or the younger generation kasi the younger generation tinitingnan nila kung sino ka, sino yung brand mo, what are you doing. or what are you, not just with coffee shop, not kasi I think we are already beyond the Instagrammable na. Not just, hindi na lang siya basta Instagrammable eh. They are really looking na, uy, solid yung kape nila. Uy, they can connect with people. So, with that, so yun yung kailangan natin tingnan. So, how can we encourage them? Or how do we maintain the integrity? I think now that there's a pandemic, we need to rethink things. Yes, we are able to do a lot of things on our own, but when they buy our products, when the younger generations, which are the next generation, of course, when they buy our product, do they see where it's coming from? Can they? So I think it boils down to transparency and traceability then doon sa integrity of the products. And as as people, as entrepreneurs who are in the coffee industry, especially the cafe industry, are we delivering that cafe experience when they buy coffee? Because right now, majority of the people, I guess, is ordering coffee online, ordering roasted coffee. So as a roaster, as a roaster, I think um, one of the suggestions that I can suggest to entrepreneurs is continue to deliver that cafe experience with your products. Continue to, alam mo yun, parang deliver the best product that you can. Kasi you will not be serving the coffee on your cafe. They will drink, whether it's cold brew, ready to drink, or ready to brew, they will be consuming it at the comfort of their home. So you should be able to extend to them, reach out to them. Oh, this is what we do, but we need to know who our markets are. Kasi at the end of the day, they will be the one to generate the demand. So hindi naman pwedeng produce lang tayo ng produce. This is what we want you to consume. We need to be able to connect with them. So kaya nasabi ko na it can be related with these two questions. So yeah, yun.
Salamat for that insight of really getting to know our customers, whether it's Gen Z or even others, no? I think Ms. Deejae wanted to also respond to this question, and unfortunately, in the interest of time, we will have to wrap up after this. But Ms. Deejae, please go ahead.
Alright, so additional lang Miss April, no, and dun sa ating mga viewers and participants regarding with the branding. Kasi branding kasi it is very important in every business para whatever the circumstances that arise in our business, nandun pa rin yung integrity. We have to build the integrity of our business, of course. Kasi in nowadays, sad to say, pero ang nagiging basihan ng mga customers natin, clients natin, through the likes, I think kung mas maraming likes, mas marami bang reviews, dyan na sila tumitingin. So, with that, we have to follow na ito yung kailangan. So, dapat ma-encourage natin yung ating mga customers, yung ating mga clients na mag-follow sa atin, magbigay ng reviews sa atin. Siyempre, bago nila tayo bigyan ng reviews, kailangan muna natin mag-perform ng tama, beyond expectations, no? Na laging dapat quality yung ating ipe-perform at ipapakita doon sa mapoprovide natin doon sa ating mga clients. Other thing pa is the how to communicate with our clients. Na dapat we have to address their concern, their inquiries ng mabilis. Kasi for example, pag nag-inquire ako, tapos matagal mag-reply yung kung saan ako nag-i-inquire, naghahanap ako ng ibang mas mabilis mag-reply, or kung sino kaagad yung makakapagbigay doon sa inquiries ko or doon sa needs ko. So yun yung una naming ginawa ng paraan na dapat kapag may nag-inquire, dapat meron kaming sagot in every inquiries right away. So yun yung importante din, I think, sa ating business. Para nakaka-disappoint kasi na nagtanong ka tapos matagal sumagot, tapos biglang o-order po ba kayo? No, naka-order na ako dun sa kabila. Kasi nga napabayaan natin yung ating client. So I think that is very important sa lahat ng business. Kailangan mabilis tayo sumagot sa mga inquiries and meron tayong laging sagot sa lahat ng inquiries. So yun lang. Thank you.
Ayan, thank you so much for that. No, and I think there's a lot of rich conversations and insights from this morning alone, plus the sessions that you've already given us or given the participants at our COFEX Manila platform. So again, once everyone probably wraps up the weekend, baka they will also ask more questions. So if I may invite our speakers to also drop their, I don't know, their pages, kaya nga sabi, kanina, let's see how we get to connect with each other. So please do drop it on the chat so our participants here at the Zoom can also connect with you directly, whether it's on your Facebook, Instagram, email, website, and all. Please do write them here on the chat. We also invite our exhibitors. Our exhibitors, some of them are also here with us this morning. So please do try to share your contact details as well. So thank you so much for that. Now, Vicky, I think we have an invitation for people to stay and log into our platform even after this weekend. Can you tell us a little bit about that? How can we do it?
Oh, what do you mean? No, I would like to. It's the last day of Coffee Expo. There are around 20 sessions. I really encourage everyone to watch them all. For me personally, I've learned a lot, and it's very inspiring, especially learning from the industries, Miss Georgie, even from young entrepreneurs and expert educators like Miss Laurie and Miss Faye, and just hearing from everyone. It's so good. Thank you so much. And we've actually, as I mentioned, we've received a lot of messages, a lot of IGs. They're saying thank you for doing this because they've also learned a lot from all the different sessions. So we're very happy to see the different feedbacks, and we really hope everyone could really maximize this virtual expo. Thanks.
Thanks, Vicky. Before we let everyone go, let's do a family photo. This is how we do it online now. We just take screenshots of everybody in the Zoom. So can we invite our participants to also turn on their cameras?
Vicky, may ano tayong heart, naka-heart sign kaya narrator.
Yan, sige, let's all have a heart sign, whether kayo mismo nag-heart or sa reaction button.
Lahat.
Reaction button na lang, guys. All right, ready? Smile. Okay, next page. 1, 2, 3, smile. All right.
Okay, thank you very much for for all our speakers and everyone who joined us this morning. We also want to invite you to please check out or purchase our mystery boxes. It's now up online. You can already order either 500, 800, or 1,000 pesos. And if we get more orders, of course, we get to support more coffee entrepreneurs, more of our exhibitors. So please share this as well to other friends, family, neighbors, etc. online. Ganito na tayo mag-share and spread the word and spread the love. So that all throughout the month, diba? Because this is also just our kickoff. We will be, putting out more content and sharing all the ideas and insights from COFEX Manila throughout the month, all the way to World Coffee Day. So this is not the end. This is just the beginning, diba, Vix? So daghang salamat. We really appreciate you being here with us and spending your weekend for COFEX. We still have another 12 hours to go. So if you haven't watched all, if you haven't visited all the booths as well, we encourage you to do so. So once again, my name is April Angvania of Cola Box. Thank you, Vicky. And I'm not sure if Press Gian is here, our partners, and really the project lead for COFEX, JCI Alabang, and all our collaborators. So that's it, everyone. Enjoy your lunch, enjoy your Sunday, keep healthy, keep safe, and let's stay connected online. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, GCI
Thank
peeps.
you.
Shout out to JCI
Thank you,
Lipa,
everyone.
JCI
Congrats,
Canon,
JCL pa. Congrats,
JCI
man.
Alabang,
Thank you,
Congrats,
President.
PCI pa.
and
Hello,
all
Pres.
the nag-drop in
Thank you po.
participants sa
everyone.
expo.
Sorry na late. Congrats.
Thank you again to all our speakers,
Thank
Miss
you
Lori,
to all our
Kath,
speakers.
Jatet.
Thank you,
Salamat
Bye!
po sa mga
Bye.
speakers.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
everyone. Congrats, Pres Israel. Congrats, Bat. Congrats much.
Oo nga. Thank you, Miss DJ again.
Thank you, everyone. Hello, okay. Hello. Thank you,
Oh.
Ma'am DJ. Thank you, April. Thank you,
Thank you.
Kalabak.
Can I ask, sino yung record para kaninong cloud
Press
siya
B.
That's mine.
Okay,
Okay.
sige. Let's upload na lang para sa Facebook
Recording
page.
stopped.
Oops,
Thank
ako.
you,
Bababas natin. Ay.
I'll edit na lang daw.
Hi, Press Israel. Thank you again for joining. And Press Christian, stand and go on the
Thank you,
list.
Dina.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Parating yung support yan si Press Israel.
Sige, let's upload.
I-
Thank you, JC Alabang.
Thank you. I also want to say thank you to Ali and Trisha from my team and guest also.
Thank you, Ali. Thank you, Trish.
Our questions. We still have our giveaways, so share na lang tayo online. So, ayan, mag-lunch muna tayo or matulog.
Happy lunch.
Nap.
Ang ganda ng discussion. Very good. Everyone was
It was really a good discussion.
very good.
Good
Okay.
job,
Sige,
everyone.
tayo na.
Good job,
Happy lunch.
everyone.
Happy
Bye.
lunch. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.